All right, let's bring in my panel. Sky News contributor Kosha Garda, former Labor MP Michael Danby. We'll start with the International Criminal Court. Australia is a member state. Others are not, like the US. They recognise Palestine, even though the UN doesn't, which is how they get the jurisdiction to put this stuff out there today. Two things here. The reaction from the free world. Australia is now an outlier. Our Prime Minister's a fence sitter on this issue. I want your reaction on that as a proud Labor man. But I mean, what does this do to any democratic country that wants to use international law, as we should, the right to self-defence? This is now almost in abeyance. It's now threatened as a right of countries.
This is the triumph of international woke lawfare. And if Albo can't see that, then he doesn't understand the implications for Australia or any democratic society that has a natural right of self-defence. So at the very moment that the UN downgrades the number of casualties to 24,000 and the IDF has killed half of those as Hamas terrorists, that is the moment, with Amal Clooney's advice, the International Criminal Court chooses a celebrity Palestinian lawyer over all of the NATO chiefs or chiefs of the British Armed Forces, none of whom gave advice to the panel on proportionality or military necessity. So, Albo, come on, you don't realise the stick you're making for Australia's back.
I've got to ask you, I'll come back to Iran if I've got time. What's the latest in the Trump trial? Because there was admissions today from Cohen, or overnight from Cohen, star prosecution witness, that he is a thief.
So the star witness, who anybody who's been following this case knows is a convicted felon and perjurer, he delivered and was caught out in a few more lies, over the week, and the big one that he stole, skimmed off the top in the scheme that Trump is on trial for, something to the tune of $30,000, which is a pretty big number if you think of it from the jury standpoint. The big picture, though, here is that this case was never about facts and law. It's about likability, both in the courtroom and those jurors. And is there going to be one juror, even in a very biased Manhattan jury pool, who just finds this beyond the pale and dislikes Cohen more than Trump? And then beyond that, politically, it's about likability and who's coming out looking uglier and dirtier. The other thing is this is a crossing the Rubicon moment, that this is what the United States has indicted a president for in the first time in 235 years of history. For what? For this person. And that's just not a good look.
Just quickly, Julian Assange. I mean, I wish he would face the courts. I would hope they find him guilty, lock him up and throw away the key, right? He leaked secrets that put lives at risk. But they've got to bring this to a head, surely. And now he's got the right, obviously, to appeal that US extradition order. How long is this going to take?
He's effectively locked himself up in jail for years in the Ecuadorian embassy and now in Belmarsh prison because he evaded bail, didn't pay his bail. Look, this is, I mean, how many shots does this guy get? Either he should be extradited to the United States and face a fair trial there. How can a British court say that you wouldn't face a fair trial in the United States? You can insist that there be no death penalty, but I don't think he'd face the death penalty in a US court anyhow. It'd be something lesser like his mate Chelsea Manning.
All right, we'll leave it there. Thank you both.